So, a little opening today. Allow your legs to relax so you can have your feet bent, knees pointing towards each other. Feet on the floor if that's not too much for your lower back. You can even put your legs in the air if it feels okay to you. Place one hand on your heart, one hand on your abdomen. And try to fill the space between your body part and your hand. So expand or extend or distend the abdomen, the ribs and the chest. If your feet are on the floor and your knees are together or apart, see if you can just soften the glutes so there's no real action going on there at this point. Inhale, fill completely. Press the belly against the hand, the heart against the hand. And exhale. And as you stay here and breathe, allow small thoughts going through your mind of relaxing rather than tightening, running, going, doing. Make the verb relaxing. So as you take a few more breaths, maybe you notice a calming influence coming over your body, your mind. And then take another breath as you open the arms out to the side and make little goalposts arms. Let the fingertips just relax. You can keep a curl to the hand. Keep the breath moving so you might even see your chest and your abdomen rise. But if not, you can feel it. So imagine that you still have your hands pressing against your body to keep the length and the depth and the quality of the breath. Inhale, turn your feet neutral, so your knees in line with your hips and bend your knees if they're not already feet on the floor. And then just lift your right leg in the air, 90-degree bend at the knee, 90-degree at the hip. You might start to feel a little action in the abdominal area just to support. Don't overdo it, don't overwork it, don't overthink it. Exhale, lower your right foot to the floor. On the inhale, lift the left leg up 90 degrees. 90-90 we sometimes call this. 90 degrees at the hip, 90 degrees at the knee. And if you're bad at math, just go with the flow. Keeping your left leg up, engage your core. If you need to hold onto the mat or the block, or just you're on the floor, both legs in the air, 90-90. If it feels too extreme on your back, you can adjust the block or move the block away. We're only here for a few breaths. And then allow your legs to fold to the floor and stretch the arms all the way back overhead. So you should be supported around your sacrum. If this is too extreme for you at this point, back off the block and just let the arms and legs go overhead. See if you can relax from the belly button down. Wiggle your fingers and toes and just let them go. Take 3 rounds of breath here, inhaling and exhaling. exhale the last bit of breath out. Bend your knees again. If you have a block, release your hands to lift the hips up and move the block off to the side. And gently hug your knees up to your chest. Grabbing a hold of your shins or underneath your thighs. Round and curl your spine. Pull everything close to midline. Flex your feet and grab a hold of the bottoms of your feet. Curl your belly into your spine, your shoulders off the mat. Inhale. And as you exhale, start to rock and roll a little bit more at a time, and then come up, cross your legs, and come over onto your hands and knees into a tabletop position. Walk your hands under your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, hips and shoulders width apart, spread your fingers, arch your back, dip your belly. Exhale, round and curl, chin to chest, head down. Tuck the tailbone underneath you like you're bringing your sitting bones to your hamstrings. Inhale, tuck your toes, arch your back, broaden your collarbones. Exhale, round and curl, press the heel of the hand down, spread the upper shoulders away. Inhale, arch your back one more time, broaden your collarbones. Come to neutral, start to wag your tail from side to side. If anybody has sensitive knees, just double mat yourself or put a towel underneath it. And start to make circles in your pelvis, and start to move into your shoulders and hips and knees and ankles and toes and wrists and fingers and ankles, fingers, toes, I think I said them all. And just start making circles wherever you want those circles to go. Big, small, indifferent, but take them in the opposite direction as well. And then make your way back to center. Push your hips to your heels for child's pose. Arms are outside, extended out in front of you. Inhale, exhale, push your hips back to your heels. Inhale, lift yourself up. Keep your arms outstretched and drop your hips down and lift your heart up. So into this kind of hybrid between upward dog and cobra. Lift your chest all the way up. Keep your arms outstretched, lift your hips up. Now without sitting on your heels, move your hands a little bit more forward and your chest to the floor. So a little bit of a nice opening in the collarbones. Maybe it's too much, you back off. Inhale, come back a little bit more, drop your hips forward and lift your chest. So kind of, well, when we usually do dog to upward, movement back and forth. Let's do a couple more of those. So hands go forward, hips go up and back, not to your heels necessarily. Some of you will get your collarbones all the way to the floor, some of you won't, that's okay. Inhale, walk your hands back, let your hips go down. Remember, if you're working with any kind of injuries, adjust. And then finally, one more time, hips up in the air, puppy dog pose. Allow your chin come down. Inhale, walk your hands under your shoulders. Bring your body to neutral. Knees under hips. Once again, tabletop position. That's it. Tuck the toes underneath you. Dip your belly, arch your back. Round your back and stay in a rounded position as you lift your knees off the floor just an inch or two or more. Inhale. Exhale, hips towards heels, chest towards thighs. Keep yourself low in a hovering, maybe a hovering child's pose. And then inhale to straighten your legs. As you exhale, walk your heels from side to side. Make your way back through just center, downward facing dog. Walk your hands all the way back to your feet, back of your mat. Take your hands in front to the side, on your shins, on your blocks, and lengthen your spine. Exhale, melt, fold over, and reach your arms behind your back. Interlace your fingers, palms together, knuckles press away. Head comes down, hips go up, body folds in half. If you're tight, bend your knees. If you're tight in your shoulders, feel free to grab a strap, a blanket, towel, something. Or just separate your arms. Take whatever you need. I know some of us have hip and shoulder injuries going on, so we have to always accommodate. your hands to the floor on the inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold again. And then ragdoll to stand all the way up. Take your time. Feet are maybe a little bit wider than your hips, or move them a little bit closer together. Still about hips width apart. Stretch your fingers down to the floor, pull your shoulders back and down. Lift your kneecaps up, tuck your tailbone under. Inhale the arms all the way up overhead. Drop the shoulders, reach the fingers to the sky. Draw your ribs and belly, or ribs and hips towards each other, belly button slightly in. And then just lift up and out of your torso to open your heart. Doesn't have to be huge. In fact, for most of us at this point, it's not going to be huge. Lift out of your waistline, spread your fingers, soften the knees as you open the arms and fold yourself down to the floor. Climb to your fingertips, lengthen your spine, hands on foot shins or block. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up, float your arms to the side, bring them back up one more time, lift that heart up and open. Opening our hearts to this beautiful day. Exhale, forward fold. Hands on the floor, shins or blocks, look forward. And walk your hands to your downward facing doggy. And make the adjustments you need to make. Walk it side to side, bend one knee then the other. And then when you're ready to settle in down dog, settle in down dog. Find the energy in the arms, underneath the arms, wrapping around the shoulders, the knees are lifted. Breathe in, breathe out. Bend your knees as much as you need to here. And then let's just measure out the length of our plank, the width. Lift up onto your toes. Come forward to a high plank. So your head is in line with your tailbone. You resist the earth with the heel of the hands. Pull the belly up and in, knees up and in. So you are parallel to the floor. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale on your toes, high plank, knees lifted, look forward, belly pulls up and in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring your feet a little bit closer together, perhaps touch the big toes together. Inhale the right leg up in the air. Open the right hip, but keep the right arm underneath you. Bend your right knee, flex the foot, point the toes, extend the leg, and just do a couple rounds of kicking yourself in the butt. Don't do it for bad reasons, do it for hip opening reasons. And then keep your knee bent. Inhale yourself back to a down dog with your right leg bent and knee, toes in the air. Bring it, stay in dog, bring the knee to the chest, round and curl. And then stretch that leg all the way back behind you. Look between your hands, bring your right foot forward. Lower your left knee to the floor. Make sure the adjustment or the size of between the heel and the back knee is enough that your right heel is still on the floor. Fingertips on floors or blocks. Lift your shoulders up, pull your shoulders back and down, bring your collarbones forward. And just because we're here, let's feel like straightening that front leg for a moment and fold over it. Pull right back. Inhale, rebend, lift your heart up. Exhale, straighten front leg. Inhale, rebend it, stay here. Release your fingertips to hover on the floor. Inhale the arms all the way up over your head. As you exhale, bring the arms behind your back, interlace your fingers, knuckles to the earth, lift your chest up, pull that left hip forward, pull that right hip in. And then let's go ahead and straighten that front leg. Maybe the toes will lift up as you fold over that right leg. Feel the right hip pulling back, left hip pulling forward. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, rebend the knee, lift your chest. Reach the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, hands to floor, tuck left toes underneath you, lift the knee up. Inhale. Exhale, step back to that three-legged dog. Inhale. And exhale. I thought that song was 10 minutes. All right, let's get moving. Left leg in the air, bend the knee. Open up the left hip, keep the left arm underneath you. Good, flex, pull it in, open it out. Hello, bend, and straighten, bend it, snap. And then let's leave it in a bent position, turn your hips square, stay in your downward dog, bring your knee to your chest, round and curl in that dog. Inhale, kick it up. Exhale, step it all the way through, lower the right knee to the floor, adjust it. Left knee over the ankle, pressing down to the top of the back foot, come to your fingertips, pull your shoulders back and down. Rise up just a little bit, bring your belly away from your thigh, and then begin to straighten your front leg. Stay here for a couple of moments, just a breath or two. Inhale, rebend, look forward. Exhale, straighten the leg. Toes up or down, your choice. Inhale, rebend, look forward. Exhale, straighten leg. Inhale, rebend. Bring your fingertips to hover on the floor. Hug your hip towards midline, pull your pelvic muscles up. Reach the arms all the way up overhead, inhale. And on the exhale, release your hands behind your back. Interlace the fingers, one finger over, knuckles down, heart lifts up. Breathe, shoulders back, eye gaze goes up and back. Exhale, straighten front leg. And see if you can fold over it. So if you wobble a little bit, so what? Inhale and exhale. Good, rebend the front knee, bring it forward. Reach the arms all the way back up overhead. Exhale, hands to floor, tuck toes. Good, downward facing dog or three-legged. And then four on the floor, let's come forward to a high plank. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, come halfway down or go to your knees. Roll up and over your toes. Upward dog or you're in a low cobra on your belly. Downward dog, hips up in the air. Feet come a little bit closer together. Inhale the right leg up and open the hip. Shoulders are square. Keep the knee bent and turn it into a down dog with the knee to the chest and then shift forward as the right foot steps in between your hands. Lower the left knee to the floor. Inhale the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, release your hands behind your back, knuckles down, straighten the front leg and fold over it. Breathe. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, lift your heart up. As you exhale, hands to the floor. Right arm sweeps back and opens to the right side as we twist. Option to stay or bring that knee off the floor. When you bring the knee off the floor, make sure that right hip doesn't hike all the way up. Just pull the leg back, the heel back, and then open that hip, breathe. Reach fingertip to fingertip, open your heart. Hug hips towards midline, one more breath. Exhale, right hand down, right leg straightens, fold over it. Pull the right hip back, left hip forward, lift your toes up off the floor, and see if you got a little bit more space. Right toes come down, bend the knee. Float to a high plank, take the breath there. Exhale on your way down, add push-ups, take away push-ups. Skip the whole thing and go to down dog or even child's pose. Feet are together, back of the mat, left leg lifts. Open the left hip, bend the knee. Turn it back to dog, knee to chest, round and curl. Step all the way through, right knee comes to the floor, arms reach all the way up. Exhale, switch the interlacing of the fingers behind your back. Knuckles down, front leg straightens, fold over it, breathe. Did I not do this? It's okay. Good, we bend arms up. Hands down, exhale. Left arm sweeps back and around. Open the twist, tuck the hip in the midline. Stay there or lift the knee up without lifting the hips up. Keep hugging left knee in. Just think about pulling to midline all the time. Breathe in and breathe out. Good, left hand down. Left leg straightens, fold. Shorten your stance if you need to. Bring blocks underneath your hands if you need to. Toes come up or down, you choose. What intensifies the stretch for you? What makes it too intense? Inhale, what enhances it? Exhale. Rebend, bend that front knee. This time I want you to step right foot to left foot, top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, let it all go. And then arch your back to rise to stand. Bring your hands together at your heart center and bring it to your heart. Good, bring your hands on your back for a moment. Let's do that little back bend again. Maybe you have a little bit more space this time. We've warmed it up a little bit. Keep working on bringing your hands, elbows together, and your hands up towards your shoulders and pressing down into the pelvis, all at the same time. There's a lot going on. Inhale back to center, separate your feet, and let your arms come down. Take your peace finger grip around your big toes. Wrap the thumbs underneath the fingers, look forward, inhale. Exhale, elbows out, pull up and push down at the same time. Create length between your ears and shoulders. Breathe in and empty out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to hips or heart, rise to stand. Heel toe your feet together. Inhale, stretch your arms all the way up overhead. Maybe there's a little back bend there as you exhale, fold down to the floor, fingertips on floor, shins or blocks. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, right foot steps back. Stay on your toes or go to your knees. Rise to your fingertips and then bring the arms all the way up overhead. Good, exhale, hands behind your back. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Ooh, lift your chest, lift your heart. Exhale, lean forward as you rebend the knee. Release the arms so the right arm comes down, left arm comes up. Inhale. Exhale, left hand on the inside of that foot. Right foot spins open, right arm opens up. Maybe the left hand is on the block. Can you lift the bottom side of your body up? Big toe, little toe, all toes in between, pressing firmly into the earth. Inhale and exhale. Draw that hip towards center. Right arm comes down. Turn yourself a quarter turn to the right side. Toes are slightly pigeoned. If you have a block, feel free to place it in between your 2 feet. Lengthen your spine. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Maybe your head easily touches the floor and you'd like to take it up into an inversion. Maybe that's not for you today, or maybe it's just too early. Inhale, halfway lift. Rise to your fingertips if you're inverted. Take another breath and bring it down when you're ready. Hands to your hips when you're there. Crown of the head, tailbone, same line. Lots of energy going on. Rise up to standing. Inhale the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, turn your left toes forward. Right toes slightly in. Bend your knee, reach down, and take that right arm up again, hugging your hip. A variation of Parsvottanasana. Breathe in. As you exhale, let the arms come down, spin it around. Step back through a plank, vinyasa or skip, upward dog, downward dog. Whoa. Whoa. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale the right leg in the air. Open it up, bend the knee. Step that right leg forward. Rise up to stand, arms all the way up. Exhale, arms behind your back, interlace the other finger over, straighten your front leg. Good, lift your heart. Breathe. All right, so keep your arms where they are, bend your front knee, come on back. Left arm down, right arm up. Is this the same leg? Let's switch sides. I don't know, am I on the wrong leg? Nope, I was right. Right leg forward. Jump switch, guys, make it cardio. Right arm up, left arm down. Hug your hips. Doing a little cardio sit there. Right arm down, exhale, left toes turn. Hug that right hip in, left arm comes up. Breathe. straighten your right toes and turn to the left side of your mat. Take your hands behind your back, interlace fingers, wrists, forearms, elbows, or reverse your prayer. Palms together. If you have the opening in your shoulders, if you don't, feel free to use a block, a towel, a strap. Inhale. Lift your heart up. Exhale, come halfway down, soften the knees, crown of the head and tailbone in the same line. Feel the outer edges of the feet pressing towards the outer edges of your mat, and fold all the way down to the floor. Feel free to keep your hands here, unwind your hands, take an inversion or just hang. Shifting the weight a little bit into the toes so there's no pressure in the knees or behind the legs. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky as the sitting bones try to open up. One more breath. Inhale, rise up to stand. Take your time. Arms open up. Exhale, right toes turn forward, right knee bends. Reach out and down. Right arm down, left arm up. Tuck the tailbone in. Crown of the head to the sky, to the front of the mat. Exhale, hands come down. Turn it around and step into a high plank variation of your choice to get to downward facing dog. Hips up in the air, we meet dog or child's. Breathe in, breathe out. Feet come back together, right leg comes in the air. Open the hip up and step it forward between your hands as you exhale. Turn your back foot on its side. Windmill open to warrior two as you exhale, settle into it. Good, pump it once. Return to your warrior two. Reach your fingers in two directions. Tuck your tailbone underneath you, right thigh parallel to the floor. Back foot, all the toes on the floor, nice and strong. Good. So right foot is forward, Jengen. Good. Flip your palms, reverse your warrior. Lift out of your waistline. Inhale to warrior two as you exhale, settle. Now spin your back foot a little bit more forward. Arms come up, find warrior one, make the adjustments on your body. Inhale. Lift out of your waistline. Try not to pooch out those bottom ribs. So draw ribs and hips towards each other. As you exhale, bring the arms behind your back, either interlace fingers, wrists, forearms, elbows, or reverse prayer. Turn the other thumb on top, lift your heart up. Exhale, come halfway down in your warrior. And then fold in between. Maybe your shoulder gets on the inside, perhaps. Crown of the head to the floor. Pull that hip in. Inhale and exhale. Hug the hips into center. Now try not to collapse on your belly. Lift your chest a little bit more. Square your shoulders off and release your left arm out, down. Right arm up. You can stay in the awkward twist or turn your back foot forward for your lunge twist. Breathe in. Breathe out. Right hand down, exhale. Look forward. Step to a high plank and take your vinyasa or your favorite way to get to a downward facing dog. That may be just sitting on your knees to get there. Feet come together. Left leg lifts high in the sky. Open the knee. Open the hip. Exhale, send it on through. Turn your back foot on its side. Windmill open to warrior two, facing the right side of your mat. Straighten your arms and legs once. Exhale, reach in two directions. Reach all the way forward, reach all the way back. Settle it in. Bend that front knee. Don't be afraid of it. Bend it so that the thigh is parallel to the floor. Unless you're working with injuries, right? We always have to modify if we need that. Flip your palms and release or reverse your warrior pose. Inhale. Lift up and out of your waistline here. Trying not to collapse your waistline down. Up and over like there's a boat behind you. Exhale, return to warrior two. Spin the right arm around. Spin the back foot a little bit more. Warrior one. See where you need to be. Again, you might need to be wider in your pelvic stance or your hip stance, or longer in between your 2 feet. Inhale. And exhale, warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Pull the ribs in. Exhale, bring your hands behind your back. Do what you did on the other side. If it involves the crossing of a finger, switch the cross of your finger. Lift your heart up. Exhale, come halfway down. Stop there. Just notice what's going on. I can tell you what's going on in my body, Lori. And then fold perhaps in between your left knee, thigh, and the floor. Head comes down. Don't worry how far you go down, right? Just don't collapse into it. So if you have to back off a little bit more, back off. One more breath. Inhale, come halfway up. Good. Square off your shoulders. Release right arm, left arm comes up. Hug your hips in. Perhaps you spin on the back foot, that's fine. Breathe. Exhale, left hand down. Step back to a high plank and find your way through a flow or not. Extra push-ups, no push-ups. It's all the same. Walk your feet about halfway up your mat. Now that your butt is a little warm, walk your hands back to your feet. Lengthen your spine. Come to your fingertips, shins, or on blocks. Inhale, hands to heart or hips. Rise up to standing. Good. Heel toe your feet together. Bring your arms down by your side. Roll your shoulders back and around. Put the weight in the left leg without collapsing into the left hip. Bring the right knee up off the floor, right foot off the floor. Knee in line with your hip, or maybe a little bit higher even. Flex the foot. Good. Spread your arms down by your side, open your collarbones. And then bend your right knee and just bring knee by knee, kicking your heel to your buttocks. You might find a tightening of your hamstrings on that foot. So without holding on, see if you can kick yourself in the butt. Flex the foot more. Yeah. Breathe. And then release that foot to the floor. Shake it out. Inhale. Exhale. Ground yourself to the floor. Stay weighted on the right leg as you lift the left knee up. Knee in line with your hip, maybe a little bit higher towards your belly button, but nothing to make you all off center. Breathe in, breathe out. Now bend your left knee. Kick your heel to your buttocks. Try not to stick your tush out, right? Tuck the tailbone under. So the work is in the hamstrings, not the back. Woo! Kicking, kicking, kicking. Some of you will be able to touch. It's not going to happen to me today. And then let it go. Shake it out. Good. Separate your feet hips width apart. Bring your arms all the way up. Inhale. Exhale. Fold down. Hands on floor. Shins or blocks. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale. Fold over your legs. Lift your toes up. Slide your hands underneath your feet. Wrap your big toe around your wrist. Look up. Inhale. And exhale, send your weight a little bit forward so you get into the creases of the wrist. Let your head hang down. Inhale and exhale, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to heart or hips and rise up to stand. Heel toe your feet to touch. Send your weight to your left leg as the right leg lifts. Right knee bends and it kicks behind you. Reach your arms down by your side. Reach one or two hands to grab that ankle, foot, shin, and then find your balance. Kick the foot into your hand. Keep the heel towards the buttocks for now. So bring your knee a little closer, Laura. So we're still trying to keep knee by knee for the most part. Good. And then, if it feels appropriate, start to kick your leg into your hands and tilt your torso. Shoulders are even, and if you had a mirror, they'd be hiding, your hip would be hiding your foot. Breathe. That's it. Inhale. Exhale. And then slowly come on back. Hug the knee all the way into the chest. Good. Right below the shin or underneath your hammies. And then let it come down. Shake it out. Arms by your side, left leg lifts up in the air. So we're starting with the arms by your side, that's all. Left knee by right knee, kick your heel to your buttocks. Try to tuck that tailbone underneath you, arms are down,
and maybe you reach for the foot. I had to get a little bit outward to get there. Flex the foot, pull the heel towards your buttocks, knee down. Good, find some really good release in the front of that thigh, not an easy place to stretch. Try to keep your knees together and tuck the tailbone underneath you. Then, if it feels appropriate, start to kick and arch your back. And coming into a double bound variation of a dancer pose or standing bow pose. Release your leg. Shake it out. Feet on the floor. Feet a little bit closer together. Bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over your legs. Hang your head, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, bend your knees and come into a low squat for a moment. Don't bounce it. And then bring your hands to your heels and drop your heels and lift your hips halfway up. So you might be standing on your hands, or your hands might be coming behind your calves, head to your shins. If your hands are behind your heels, cupping them, try to bring your forearms or your forearms behind your calves, look forward, inhale. Exhale, fold, push and pull, hands against foot, foot against hands, head to the floor, sitting bones up, and let go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release your hands, lengthen your spine, and rise to stand. Bring the arms all the way up with you. Exhale, walk to the front of the mat, hands in prayer, feet together. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold your way to the floor, hands on floor, shins or blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step, step, jump, hop, fly through your chaturanga, and that's your breath. Inhale, we catch that breath on the way up, and exhale, back on the way down. Right leg in the air, open the right hip towards the right side. Exhale, knee to chest, step it all the way through. Spin your back foot on its side, warrior one, arms reach up all the way. Exhale, hands behind your back. Any variation, humble warrior, fold your body in half. Turn your shoulders as square as they can go, head down towards the floor. Inhale and exhale. Now, lift your torso halfway. Inhale your back foot to turn forward. Stay here in this bent front leg position, or take flight into your warrior three. Uh-oh. Yeah, so even you don't have to lift up, but for many of us that's going to happen. And lift, breathe. Yeah, inhale. Exhale. Now, with some modicum of grace, bring your left knee up to your chest. Release your hands. Hug it in. Woo, I can't stand up. It's windy, as Lori said today, so I'm falling all over the place. Good. Now, slide your left hand down your foot. Bring your right arm in the air. Flip your palm or keep your hand where it is, knee together, and then if you want to take off, kick the foot behind you, reach the right arm forward, trying to keep our hips squared as the toes go over the head. Maybe that's just in our mind's eye, but there's where it's going. And don't get pissed off if it doesn't happen. The one thing yoga starts to teach us is patience, grasshopper. Inhale, bring your feet together or your knees together. Now bring your feet together, arms down. All the way up, inhale. If you're not at the top of your mat, feel free to float up there. Exhale, hands to floor, shins or blocks. Inhale, take a vinyasa. Wipe your slate clear. Lift all the way up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg in the air. Inhale, open up your hip. Good. Step that left leg all the way through. Spin the back foot on its side. Warrior one, inhale. Exhale, arms behind your back. Humble your warrior. Do whatever you did with the arms on the last side. If you have it with crossed fingers, just switch the cross of your fingers. Pull left hip back, right hip forward, head down towards the floor. Pull everything towards your midline. Let your body surrender. The more you release and not carry on tension, the more you will get action out of your body. Inhale, lift your torso halfway. Spin your back foot on its side. You choose how you need to get to warrior three. Maybe you're gonna put your hands on blocks or on the floor to lift up, or maybe you can simply float into your warrior three bound. Inhale, exhale. Now slowly inhale your right knee into your chest. Release the arms up overhead. Hug the knee into your chest. Pull it in. Then slide your right hand down the foot, left arm in the air. I like to put my hand on the inside, just an old hot flow method. Stay here or begin to tilt and kick. So the idea is to hide the shoulder or the hip with the shoulder, and eventually the foot peeks up over the top of your head. It doesn't happen on day 1, 2, or sometimes 10 or 1,000. So you go where you go and you sit with it and be satisfied with it. Breathe. Patience, grasshopper. One more breath. Slowly come on back. Arms down, feet down. Separate your feet as wide as your mat. And bring your hands into prayer. Drop your seat. Sit on a block if you'd like to. Use your arms inside of your thighs. Good. Pull the knees apart. Lift your heart open. Inhale. Exhale. Hands to floor. Walk your hands forward and then pull your belly in and round your spine. Let your shoulders relax. Inhale, lift and rise up. Bring your hands forward if you'd like to make this a crow pose of any variation. Knees on the outside, knees on the inside. And lift your toes up towards each other, heels towards the buttocks. Make it your own. Feel free to own it. Inhale. Exhale. Yeah, also Baddha Konasana on the floor works. If you're up in the air, come on down. Heels down, hips down, and then rise up to stand, forward fold, feet closer together, 2 fists, and then grab opposite elbows and hang. Big toe bowl of the foot, heel, pinky toe down on the floor, sway a little side to side. Just switch the cross of the arms, continue what you're doing. Inhale, release your arms, ragdoll to stand all the way up. Bring the arms overhead, bring the feet together, top of the mat. Exhale, prayer to the heart. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, fold through center, hands on floor, shins or blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk, step, fly, hop. I don't care how you get there, you shouldn't either. Just make it yours. Own it. Make sure it's safe. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up. Feet your feet together, take your right leg in the air, open up your right hip, then knee. Keep dog as you turn your hips square, knee to chest in dog, and then into plank. Right knee to right wrist, come down to the floor, tuck your toes underneath you, lift the knee up, shimmy it back, stay upright for a moment. Good, lift your chest up. Check out your back foot, make sure it doesn't sickle in. Square shoulders, square hips, and then make your way down towards the floor. Go as far down as you can, take one breath where you are, and then perhaps another breath will take you deeper. Let the belly soften, let the thought surrender. Breathe in, breathe out. Take a couple more breaths. Walk your hands back. Lift your heart. Let the right hip come down. Swing the left leg all the way around for a seated twist. If you need to, just spread that bottom leg all the way out on the floor. Hug the knee to the chest and find length in your spine. Take your left arm up in the air. Exhale, take your arm behind you, right arm comes all the way up. And twist outside that leg or hug the knee into the side. If you have a bind, take a bind. Find length on the inhale, find depth on the exhale. Inhale, look over your right shoulder. And exhale, just turn to the right side. Come back to center. Lean back. Bend your right knee and keep your left ankle on your right heel, left ankle on above your right knee. So you're in a figure four. Is that okay, Rach? Good. As close as this right heel can get for your body is great. Fingers point in. If not, fingers point where they can. Lift your hips up into a bridge. And then a figure four bridge. Lift your glutes up. Breathe. Inhale. If you like to drop your head back, if that works in your body, go for it. Exhale, come on back down. Straighten your right leg out in front of you. Bring your left knee right on top of your right leg with a very little action in either foot. So just shoelace cross your left leg over your right and walk your fingers forward. Stop when you first feel it. Take a breath and maybe you fold a little bit more. Yeah, that's it, Sid. So we're sitting in a half Gomukhasana, half shoelace. Call it what you want. Your knee is crossed over your right knee. Let your body go. Walk your hands back in slowly. Shake your legs out in front of you. Give some love to your knees. Shake it out. Spin your legs around to either side. Tuck your toes underneath you and lift your hips into downward facing dog. Left leg in the air, open the hip, bend the knee. Stay in dog as you bring the knee to the chest, round and curl. Inhale it to a high plank. Left knee to left wrist as you exhale, right toes tuck underneath you, shimmy back. Get into your positioning, check out your sickled back foot, make sure it's pointing forward. Lift your heart up. And then begin to take yourself down slowly. Letting go. So if your hips are tighter, stay upright a little bit longer. Only go where your body's really going to allow you to go without force. The only force being gravity. Take another breath, everybody. Walk your hands back in, inhale. Let your hips come to the floor, or you let your left hip come to the floor. Let your right leg swing around, and either straighten your bottom leg or keep it bent, just not sitting on your heel. Hug your knees to your chest, working on a long spine. Inhale the right arm up. Take it back behind you as you exhale. Left arm can stay where it is. Hug outside, twist bind, whatever floats your boat. Use the right hand behind you to create more length in your spine, and use the left arm to create more depth into the twist. Look over your left shoulder. And release to the left side. Come on back to center. Lean back and straighten your bottom leg if it's not. Right knee over left, and just let the feet go. And fold over. Let it go. All right, so the secret's out. I love Kenny Rogers. Let it go. Inhale, rise up. Bend your bottom leg, right leg figure four. 4 on top of it. Depending on your hips, what's going on, how close this front foot's gonna get to you. Lift your hips up. If you wanna stay on the floor, you're still gonna get some benefit there, so don't worry about it. Lift your hips up. Maybe the head goes back. That's kind of dependent on you. Pull the belly up, squeeze your glutes. And come on down, exhale. Release your legs, shake them out. Let's just keep them here for a moment. Walk the flesh out from underneath you. And then separate your feet the width of the short edge of your mat. And making this a little bit more yin than yang. Right now, walk your hands forward. Relax your feet like we did in our shoestring. And then pull yourself and fold in. Let your belly come in, let your head hang down. Blocks are great here. They support your head if you need to. Look inward towards your belly button. So see if you can tell your body to relax. Your neck, your shoulders, your toes, your quadriceps, your glutes, your pelvic muscles. Slowly roll yourself up. If you have the block, move it off to the side. You can keep your legs as wide as they are. Adjust yourself, bring your arms in front of you, lift your toes up. Chin to chest, roll down to the floor. Pull yourself slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Pull, pull, pull. Scoop it out like a giant. Letter C. Release your legs, your head. And then bend your knees into your chest, happy baby. Grabbing the bottoms of your feet, outsides of your feet, rock and roll side to side. And then hold your happy baby and be happy and satisfied in this pose that you don't have to do anything. But be. Slowly draw your knees together. Take the tops of the foot, shins in your hand. Inhale like we did way back in the beginning of class. Exhale, round and curl your spine. Big ball, hugging everything close, 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 close. Inhale, open the arms out to the side. Let the knees fall to the left side as you look to the right side. Left hand on top of right thigh, right arm up over your head. Find the length from the underarm all the way outside that right hip. Arms to a T, knees to the center. Exhale, hips to left, knees fall to right. Right arm on top of left thigh, left arm up over. Inhale, open the arms up, knees to center. Once again, round and curl, everything comes in. Lower your head and stretch your legs up in the air. Release your arms by your side. Pull your belly to your spine. You can also put yourself on a block here or some kind of support, right? Press your upper shoulders back into the floor, tailbone down so you've got your legs are straight, mine weren't so straight. So they may not be over your hips, right? They may be a little bit more forward. Take a breath. As you exhale, point your toes and take them over your head. Do not turn your head. If your feet don't touch the floor, put your hands on your back. Work your hands closer or your elbows closer together. And then perhaps bring your feet in the air for shoulder stand. Make sure you're on your shoulders, not your neck. Legs straight up in the air. Or feel free to keep that block under your back with your legs up in the air. Nice, Anika. If your feet are in the air,
waistline. If your feet are on the floor, bring your hands to your waistline. From bridge, lift your hips up. From here, in shoulder stand, hands on your waistline, bend the knees, and then let your feet touch the floor as you come into a supported bridge. So the support could be a block, your hands. Breathe in, breathe out. If you have the support, release it slowly, upper, mid, lower body down, or lower back down to the floor. Knock your knees together. Rock side to side. Come back to center. One more bridge, everybody. Your choice. Lifting your hips up. Stay right there, putting a block underneath, staying with that. Or perhaps you're going to go into your full wheel, fingers towards your shoulders. Rise up first to your head and then lift up out of your body. It's an out-of-body experience and our biggest heart opener of the morning, at least thus far. If you're up in any variation, just take some breaths there. And then make your way back down. Come back to your back, legs in the air. So once again, have them as straight as you can get. Pull your belly in, arms by your side. Some will put their hands underneath their hips. Some will just keep the arms right outside their hips, grazing your hips. Point your toes, flex your feet. And start to lower your legs. And as you lower your legs, think about keeping the length out of the hip. Continue, 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 until your legs touch the floor. Then we rise up onto the forearms, lift the heart, and yet maybe another big heart opener. Open up your throat, your heart, your minds, to let the love in. Bring your chin to your chest to release. And one more time, just hug those knees into your chest lovingly. If you need another spinal twist, go ahead and just take the twist of your choice and make sure you do it on both sides. And when you're ready, find your final Shavasana. Let your body completely surrender. And lay, lady, lay. Close your eyes, softly gaze at the tip of your nose. Soften your thoughts, soften your breath.
beautiful heart-opening practice that we shared today. If you're ready to make your way back to the reality of Sunday morning, begin to move your fingers, toes, wrists, and ankles. Bring your knees to your chest and find your way onto either side. And then slowly make your way back up to a seated position with your hands together at your heart. So take this opportunity for me, for gratitude, for you being here, for one of my children being here that gives me the status of mother. Thank you. Thank you all for being here, for sharing Mother's Day practice with me. I am so grateful and honored to always be here with you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace to all. Namaste. Have a wonderful day, everybody, whatever you're doing, and you stay home, stay fit, stay healthy.